Now, picture this. Once you make your mortgage payment, because you already have a mortgage, then can you give the bank extra money if you want to?
Yes.
Okay. And you know you're saving time and you know you're saving interest when you do that, correct?
Yes.
Now, here's my question. Has the bank ever sent you a receipt for any loan that you ever had that you paid extra on? They said, thank you for the extra payment. Here's how much interest you saved.
No.
Really? Neither has mine. Okay. But you've bought stuff on sale like at a department store before, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then when you do that, at the bottom of the receipt, don't they print, oh, here's how much money you saved?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they do that?
Because they want you to come back and spend some more money.
Exactly. So if the bank is our friend and they want to encourage us to give them their money back, why don't they tell us how much interest we saved when we pay extra?
Because they're losing.
There you go. There you go. And they don't want us to know how much money they're losing. Isn't that something? So let me give you an example here. So payment number one we've made. We don't owe anything else until next month. But the principal payment for next month is $549. Can you visualize that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to wait till next month to give the bank the $549?
No.
If you had it, could you give it to them this month on top of your regular payment?
Yes.
Guess what happens when you do that? You completely eliminate line 2 of your amortization schedule. It's gone.
Oh, wow.
Your next mortgage payment for next month goes down to line 3. Line 3 moves up. Number 2 is gone. Line 3 moves up into its place where you're making the payment for March or the payment for the next month after that early. So you completely eliminate line 2 and line 3 moves up into line two's place just for paying the 549.79 early. And guess what happens to the $2,289.16 in interest that was on that line? It is canceled. You just saved over $2,200 interest for paying that 549.79 early. How about that?
Wow. You learn something new every day.
And if you're like anybody else, like a lot of people I know, they have a couple of bucks in the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that couple of bucks in the bank, even if it's in a savings account, have you looked at your savings account statement lately? And when they tell you how much interest you've earned, do you see the 1 or 2 or 3 pennies that they put on there?
Yes. Not even worth the paper.
Yes. So listen, why are you even sending me this? The stamp that you put on here costs more than the 2 or 3 pennies you told me I just earned. So here's the thing. Why do we like leaving money in the bank that's going to make us 2 or 3 pennies when as little as $549 invested in this mortgage will save us $2,289.16 in interest we'll never have to pay?
That's.
Isn't that
Never
something?
thought of that way. That is.
How
I do have
about
a question.
go right ahead? I love questions.
Okay. So once you do that, you're already ahead. The next month, I would still pay regular, but it's like I'm paying for the month after that. So I wouldn't have to put an additional payment down and just continue going that route, or would I need to continue doing
That's a
extra
very
payment?
good question. That's a very good question. So, if you did nothing else except make your regular mortgage payments from that point on,
Mm-hmm.
that $2,289 in interest you saved, you'll always have that savings. Now, you can choose to pay extra anytime in the future, but you don't have to, but you can. So anytime you're skipping payments, meaning what you're doing is that you're decreasing the number of payments. You just went from 360 payments on your contract to only now making 359 full mortgage payments.
Okay.
So you have a payment every month. You just don't have a payment for 360 months now. So to make this clear, so what if we make our mortgage payment here on line 1 and looking at the amortization schedule, What if we gave just the bank the principal payments, not the interest payments, but just the principal payments? On line 2, that's $549 that we talked about. On line 3, that's $552. And line 4, $554. It's like a little over $1,600, okay? When we add it all up. We gave the bank an extra $1,600 on top of our mortgage payment. We knock out line 2, 3, and 4. We just eliminated 4 mortgage payments that we never have to make. Okay, 4 months off of our schedule, and over $7,200 in interest we never have to pay. $7,200 just for giving the bank the next 3 principal payments. And instead of our mortgage payment being on line 2, our next mortgage payment would be on line 5 of our amortization schedule. How about that?
That sounds good.
So what we're doing is we are not saying that when you pay extra, you don't have to pay next month's payment. You have a payment every single month. But instead of 360 payments, how would you like to get that down to about 90 payments instead and be done with it? Instead of paying on this loan $500,000 in interest, what if we could pay only about, I don't know, 190 or $200,000 in interest instead of the 500,000 the bank is looking for? Would that be a deal?
Yes.
And you could do that without sacrificing lifestyle. You don't have to rob money from your family, that money that you use to, to have a good time and to create memories for your family. You don't have to sacrifice that money and throw it at the bank. We're going to show you how to disrupt the bank's timing, which makes it impossible for them to charge you interest. And any monies that you have after all the bills are paid, after your family has designated how much money you want to spend on just lifestyle and having some fun, after that money is spent, after all the bills are paid, after all the loans are paid, then you have just a little bit of money left over. What we're going to show you is how that little bit of money left over can save you tons and tons and tons of interest. And the more interest you save, the faster you get out of debt.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.